A group of unemployed doctors on Monday morning carried out a protest march to State House, demanding to be addressed by Republican President Hakainde Hichilema. However, the protest was short-lived as officers from the Zambia Police Service blocked the doctors, calling their protest illegal. The doctors are demanding a clear communication path in view of the promise in the 2022 national budget that 11,200 unemployed doctors would be given jobs. Earlier, the doctors had staged a protest at University of Zambia Ridgeway campus in Lusaka, demanding they be employed by the end of this week. The 130 was led by group leader Dr. Wallace Ndumba, who says that the country is currently facing a deficit of doctors, and yet only 100 doctors have been employed out of the 800. He says the recruitment was initially expected to commence in January, but conflicting statements keep on being released by government officials. Meanwhile, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Health, Professor Kasonga Lakson, has assured the doctors government is systematically planning the process of recruitment. The employment of the doctors was initially expected to start in January, but conflicting statements have not given a clear indication. Meanwhile, the Zambia National Youth Tank has condemned the protest held by the unemployed doctors, stating the action has a potential to jeopardize the administration plans going on. The organization says it has a valid information pointing to the fact that the said doctors are being used by people with selfish motives in an effort to paint the image of government black. Organization Executive Director Mumbai Tabulu has called on the employed doctors to refrain themselves from such acts. A 42-year-old man of Livingstone has appeared before the Livingstone Magistrate Court for the offense of defamation of the president. Particulars of the offense are that Maurice Lungu of Livingstone's Maramba ME section, with intent to bring the name of the president Hakainde Hichilema into ridicule, did publish defamatory statement by word of mouth, to which he said, if there is a president who is a fool, is this one who is there. Call him and tell him his testicles. Lungu has, however, pleaded not guilty to the said offense of defamatory, and the matter has since been adjourned to 31st March 2022 for commencement of trial.
A Livingstone man has pleaded not guilty to the offense of defamation of the president, contrary to Section 69 of the Penal Code, Chapter of 87 of the Laws of Zambia at the Livingstone Magistrate Court. Appearing before Livingstone Magistrate Mbololo Mukela is a 42-year-old Maurice Lungu of house number 179 ME section Maramba, facing one count of defamation of the president. Particulars of the offense are that on the 12th of January 2022, with intent to bring the name of the president to ridicule, did publish defamatory or insulting matter by word of mouth, to which he said, and I quote, if there is a president who is the fool, it is this one here. Call him and tell him that his testicles Hakainde Hichilema. The matter has since been adjourned to 31st March 2022 for commencement of trial. Prudence Mutele reporting for Muvi TV News and Livingstone.
A bill that seeks to legalize polygamous marriages in Zambia has been described as a move towards stripping Zambia's Christianity status. Some Livingstone residents spoken to have expressed concern, saying polygamy is a selfish move aimed at satisfying men's sexual desire at the expense of building strong marriage and family systems. They argued that the damage to Christianity and family values will be immense, as divorce cases which skyrocket as no civilized woman in modern-day Zambia who accepts to be involved in a polygamous marriage. Here's a report.
Next edition of Fact-Checking Analysis, we look at a bill that seeks to legalize
polygamous marriages and abortion in Zambia, which has been a Christian nation for over 30 years. Now, let's first look at what the residents of Livingstone had to make of this before we look at the cultural aspect and the religious which Zambia has been relying on in terms of not legalizing polygamous marriages.
And the reason being is I'm enslaving their emotions to I won't even manage very lightly, whereby once and pereke kuma good schools wakazikala na 3 meals, you know, it's slavery, it's modern slavery.
I say no to that. I say absolutely no. It's a big no for me. I pray so that that will not happen to this country, and being it a Christian nation.
Apa nibuze kuli hani ba inzipi eza discuss yewo ne babule akuli akunyala basali babangata which profit yeba kona seba bata pateni kisikamanyi hane ba eza discuss twale tabafala kikuli kamulao kuli mutu musali abe mama free mind kuswana ko bane musala ali mumwi.
The debate as to whether to legalize polygamous marriages in Zambia has been met with different feelings as seen in the footage. Now, here are some few facts we dug out. According to multiple Bible verses, marrying more than one wife is discouraged in a biblical perspective. Second fact analysis is when two people are married under Zambian statutory law through Marriage Act, none of them is allowed to marry again before their marriage is dissolved. However, under customary law, a man can marry as many wives as he wishes, which is in sharp contrast to biblical teachings and statutory law. Different women have described polygamy as a discriminatory practice which aims at only satisfying men's sexual desire, and that society has perpetuated or accepted this norm. The argument from the women folk has been that if women were to marry multiple men, this would be described as a culture shock, hence their stance that polygamy for men is a selfish motive as it disregards women's emotion of not wanting to share a man in a marriage. Away from that, the bottom line argument now is that the bill being brought before Parliament will now test Zambia's credentials or status as a Christian nation in respect of biblical teachings which are against a man or woman marrying multiple partners. Further is the argument of customary law which allows men to marry multiple women being used as a scapegoat. That's a brain teaser for many Zambians, especially those who are staunch Christians, as they wait for parliamentarians to debate on this issue. Having looked at the pros and cons of this legislation, it's up to Zambians to make their feelings known in majority, whether it is against the Zambian culture in respect of religious and culturally. Muya Mukumbuta, Muvi TV News, Livingstone.
On that note, we go for our first commercial break. Still to come is more news items coming up shortly. Stay tuned.
They'll play a high press to force the mistakes.
They'll dominate the aerial ball. They too tall. We will handle the pressure and smash them on the break.
The number 9 has scored in their last 5 games.
The passing will be quick, decisive, precisely.
There will be drama in the dying minutes.
This match will mean more than 3 points.
They will have the home ground advantage. This is why I bet.
This is why I bet.
This is why I bet. Betway.
So here's how to pay using Airtel Money. Ensure your decoder is turned on and tuned to channel 1. Dial *778#, then select the option that says Make Payment. Select Pay TV, then select Movie TV. Enter the 12-digit smart card number, then enter the amount you wish to pay. Enter the Movie TV account number, omitting the dash before the last digit. Then select the amount you wish to pay.
For inquiries, call customer care on 0764 250055 or 0764 250052 or 0978 732 411 or 0978 732 412.
So here's how to pay using Airtel Money. Ensure your decoder is turned on and tuned to channel 1. Dial *778#, then select the option that says Make Payment. Select Pay TV, then select Muvi TV. Enter the 12-digit smart card number, then enter the amount you wish to pay. Enter the Muvi TV account number, omitting the dash before the last digit. Then select the amount you wish to pay.
For inquiries, call customer care on 0764 250055 or 0764 250052 or 0978 732 411 or 0978 732 412.
So here's how to pay using Airtel Money. Ensure your decoder is turned on and tuned to channel 1. Dial *7.
The answer is yes.
Yes. She said yes. 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 She said yes.
Shawarma. Congrats, bro.
What? We'll be there.
Last Sunday of next month.
Ew, are you here?
You may give her the ring.
Everyone, say to feel life. To feel life.
One day, I'll give you the world.
Oh, you already have.
One expert. Anyone can get lucky.
Welcome back. We'll continue with the news. Motorbike transporters in Isoka district of Muchinga province have appealed to government and the private sector to quickly work at setting up a more filling station in the town in order to complement the only one existing filling station. In an interview with Muvi TV News, motorbike transporters Lawrence Sinkala says the current situation of having only one fueling station trigger fuel hike by over 100% by street fuel sellers when the fueling station is not operational. He says that the situation eats up into profits of many transporters, hence the need for government and the private sector to come on board and set up another filling station in the district.
The increase of fuel prices that was experienced in December of 2021 has continued to disadvantage some businesses across the country. In Isoka district of Muchinga province, some motorbike transporters have lamented that the situation has continued to disadvantage their business. The motorbikers told Muvi TV News that some commuters have continued to disapprove the new prices due to the increase in fuel.
At least kuti vaenda kuparika onda. So tulerombako nakubuteko as time goes on ngabaisa bwesha kufesa na mafuta ikabako bwino mitengo pakuba tina bambya bashinga kwanisha kuti bakwanisha kokwenda barika motorbike ati pantu twale let's say nganikomo aisen twale na 10 kwacha nomba ifyo yarundwa yeso ngo batinga muamba business twabika fuel na twambo kwenda ma 10 kwacha tureputuka and then let's say umuntu omwe kwati 10 kwacha pamwe aisen alekana mwendo akobati arefo akobati yene ntutwale nderapo oyo ture nderapo ine no more 15 kwacha yena barekana so kwena na ikosa komuna na fuel valundire.
The motorbike transporters say the situation has been worsened by the lack of filling stations in the district, as it only houses one which sometimes run dry and cause street fuel sellers to hike the prices.
Efo tungakabira sana mwendo akobati ma filling station ngayafulako poko songo bati nama business yakulaenda kuno bwino kuliko kwena abakweteko opportunity nangula tundalama to bati bengabika ma filling station yafuleko muno mwisoka kwena nishi twelo twetotera kwena palicho.
The motorbike transporters have also called on government to regulate the business.
Tibipirebe kuma accident abalesa mbya maonda na abafula so tulelomba ubuteko upange kwefunde limola kwe batri tubike pamo wonse for the drive aba taxi naba maonda wonse.
For Muvi TV News, I'm Afias Kaptula in Isoka, Muchinga province.
A group of unemployed medical doctors on Monday morning carried out a protest march to State House, demanding to be addressed by Republican President Hakainde Hichilema. However, the protest was short-lived as officers from the Zambia Police Service blocked the doctors, calling their protest illegal. The doctors are demanding a clear communication path in view of the promise in the 2022 national budget that 11,200 unemployed doctors would be given jobs. Earlier, the doctors had staged a protest at University of Zambia Ridgeway campus in Lusaka, demanding they be employed by the end of this week. The 130 was led by group leader Dr. Wallace Ndumba, who says the country is currently facing a deficit of doctors, and yet only 100 doctors have been employed out of the 800. He says recruitment was initially expected to commence in January, but conflicting statements keep on being released by government officials. Meanwhile, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Health, Professor Kasong Kalakson, has assured that government is systematically planning the process of recruitment. The employment of the doctors was initially expected to start in January, but conflicting statements have not given a clear indication.
This is not a press conference, so I don't want the media. Media go on the side. I want to speak to my story.
We're not politicians, though. No. We want employment. Simple as that. Make it simple.
Following the announcement by Stumbeko Mosokotwani that 11,200 health workers will be employed in 2022 to improve health service delivery in the country, some unemployed medical doctors on Monday morning carried out a protest to State House demanding to be addressed by Republican President Hakainde Hichilema. However, the protest was short-lived as officers from the Zambia Police Service blocked the doctors, calling their protest illegal.
Move closer with your mic. What we all want is to ensure that this ends
peacefully, and you get
with a date of employment.
No, I can't assure you that, but you get your information.
Yes.
So that you get whatever information you want, okay? Yes. But let's ensure there's order, there's peace.
Yes.
Dr. Wallace Dumba, who was representing the doctors, clarified by saying the protest is not a political stance. He says recruitment was initially expected to start in January, but nothing has commenced yet.
They have been waiting for more than 2 years, still begging for employment. The sad part is that we are not allowed to work outside a government facility before you complete your internship. So people, we are stuck. Now we are stranded. So having seen that, no, there is no coherency or sincerity in the manner the ministry is communicating. The membership decided to say, at this point, we are going to seek the audience of the president so that he can intervene. So,
meanwhile, Health Permanent Secretary Professor Kasonka Lakson addressed the doctors by assuring them that recruitment of health workers is still in process, hence people should be patient.
Lack of transparency, there's no hiding, there's no secrecy, no. And as a matter of fact, we want to do it so correctly that it doesn't have to be me or him to determine who gets employed. It has to be so transparent that it will be so clear who gets employed. You get your CVs to me, you are wasting your time because I have no influence. It will be done in a methodical, systematic way that it is so open and transparent. And this is what we're spending time working on. He sits in this meeting all the time, planning, replanning, doing it in consultation with the Public Service Management Division so that it is done properly.
Tassila Zulu, reporting for Muvi TV News in Lusaka.
Residents of Muyombe area in Mafinga district are on the verge of being cut off from the rest of the district due to the collapse of a Bemba bridge on Muyombe Soka Road. Muyombe, the bridge that houses the only boarding school in the district, hospital, among other public offices, has seen people risk their lives crossing to access services in the area. And Mafinga Council Chairperson Duncan Kaunga has disclosed the local authority has responded to the challenge by instituting a 5-day temporary work plan of putting stones to narrow the bridge for people and vehicles to cross. Mr. Kaunga has, however, underscored the need for a permanent solution to the solution. And the area member of parliament, Robert Chabinga, says the government has assured him